trillions of dollars in debt, and this is just the beginning.
We're operating in deep deficits.
How much will it cost you, and where do we go from here?
Well, we're out of money now.
Get answers on Fox Business Network. Don't miss Red Ink Week.
Welcome back. Well, it is time for the hot seat. And it's time to turn the tables and have two people who have different political views than mine ask me the tough questions. Now, today, my challengers are legal policy advisor under former President Clinton, Jamie Floyd, and then joining us from Los Angeles, syndicated radio talk show host Tammy Bruce. Delighted to have both of you here. Thank you very much, Jamie and Tammy. I hope I don't regret this.
Thank you.
Treated an honor, and I'm very excited.
Oh, I'm sure.
We'll be gentle. We'll try to be gentle.
I was going to say, you're way too excited. This is a little, maybe we should cancel this segment. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to throw it to you, Jamie. You get the first shot at me, and then we'll go to Tammy out in L.A.
All right. Well, let's start with Sotomayor.
Okay.
How good, how qualified does someone have to be on the U.S. Supreme Court? The woman had scholarships to Princeton. She went to Yale Law School. She edited the Law Review. How much better can we expect? She certainly seems eminently qualified, and yet already the criticisms, the attacks have begun.
Now, Jamie, you're certainly not surprised that there's going to be a little bit of give and take on this. I mean, let's remember back. I think we had a little bit of energy going on when Robert Bork was nominated, and Clarence Thomas and John Roberts and Sam Alito. It's part of the process, some of which is healthy. Let me be clear. I think it's a healthy thing for us to get a clear picture of a court nominee's judicial rulings, judicial temperament, statements they may have made in speeches, and things they have written. But let me be also fair. Some of the comments about Judge Sotomayor are totally off the wall. She is not a racist. Let me be emphatic. I don't think there's anything about her that indicates that she is a racist. That's a strong statement, and I wouldn't even pretend to advance that idea.
And shouldn't we get away from the borking? Shouldn't it be a dialogue about democracy, not ad hominem attack?
It should be an honest, thorough examination of her record as a judge. And again, public and other statements that she might have made, particularly things, and let me be very also fair and say, I think it ought to be more about the things that she has written on purpose, not off-the-cuff remarks. I've had a few off-the-cuff remarks myself through the years. They were not scripted, they were not written, they were not edited, they were just said. I don't want to be judged solely from those. And so, Tammy, I think you want to jump in here.
Well, I do. You know, it's interesting. I would have loved that sentiment that we're hearing when it came to judges like Clarence Thomas or Alito or even Sandra Day O'Connor, but we didn't. The truth of the matter is this is a lifetime appointment. And even your approach, Governor, really, the Republicans and conservatives in general need to realize that being aggressive and being strong in defending the nature of what this country means is important. This is a lifetime appointment with decisions that will affect the lives of generations to come. This is not hiring someone to manage a business for a few years, which is also important. But this is a significant issue. And the truth of the matter is, of course, is that her womanhood will inform the decision she makes. But there's a big difference between identity politics, which she obviously subscribes to, which is the antithesis of what this nation was built on. And frankly, it also is the antithesis of what Dr. Martin Luther King asked of us.
All that really matters, truly, is whether she would be able to take the Constitution of the United States and appropriately interpret it and not legislate from the bench. I think for many of us, that's the key issue. Okay, Tammy?
Well, we've seen that she does.
All right, we're going to let you have the next question.
Well, when we're looking, it's funny because going from a Supreme Court nomination of the nation wanting someone to embrace and properly represent and respect the Constitution, the truth of the matter is we've just had the experience of Prop 8 here in California, which is, in fact, in direct opposition to the 14th Amendment, to the idea that every American deserves the rights of every other American. Now, I completely respect and know the value and the impact of the Christian Judaic ethic on Americans in this country. It's what makes us a great country. We're great not because of people like Perez Hilton, but because of young women like Miss California. And so but I disagree with her on that issue. I also believe that we can protect the tradition of marriage while providing civil unions for gays and lesbians. But I know, Governor, you feel pretty strongly about the fact that gays and lesbians should not be allowed to be married, and yet that is in direct contradiction with the Constitution that makes this nation so great?
Well, I would have a different point of view, Tammy, because I'm not sure that constitutional protection is extended to people's lifestyle choices. And marriage is a choice, and lifestyle is a choice. But let me ask you this one question.
It's about the rights the federal government gives. This is about the rights the federal government is giving us,
Pardon me. Let me ask you a question. We're talking about changing something that has existed for 5,000 years of recorded history, and in every religious tradition there is.
We're not changing it. We're adding to it. We're letting more Americans experience it.
Tammy, the burden of proof is on those who wish to change it, not those who would like to keep it as it is. My question is, what is the biological or the historical basis for making a change in the definition of marriage? We're really talking not about just an accommodation, but once we make the accommodation, where does it stop? And my question is, where is the basis for it?
Don't you agree that Tammy, I'm going to jump in for a minute. Don't you agree, Governor, that the debate has been rather mean-spirited on this issue, and this is a right that had been granted to gay Americans in California as a matter of state constitutional law. I clerked at the California Supreme Court, so I understand what's going on here legally. Why does it have to be so mean-spirited? Why can't the dialogue be...
You mean like gay activists beat up the lady with the sign?
How about the advocates for Prop 8 against gay marriage? It's such an ugly,
we're running out of time,
debate.
and I wish we need to bring this topic back because there's a lot more to be done. What I would want to just remind everybody, there shouldn't be the meanness. I don't agree with that at all. But I think that when you're going to talk about changing something this dramatically, the definition of marriage, the burden of proof lies with those who wish to make the change. And I want to just point one thing out. We've got to go to the break. The problem with Prop 8, or not with Prop 8, but with the
Governor,
original issue, is that you had...
I'm going to put you on the hot seat one more time.
Well, okay, you're going to have to hurry, Tammy, because we're running out of time.
And it's allowing all Americans to enjoy the rights that other Americans have had, and I know Christians agree with that concept as well, sir.
I'd love to talk about it some more, but I just want to conclude by saying I don't think that there is an overwhelming desire of the American people to change the definition of marriage. It's mostly been done by judges. 30 states have had it on the ballot.
They're adding to it.
30 have had it on the ballot. 30 states have voted to sustain traditional marriage. Well, okay, we got to go. He's just been voted America's Idol, but will his career survive a musical appearance with me? Chris Allen is next on Huckabee. Don't go away.
The former Vice President and Liz Cheney go on the record, taking down terrorism, protecting America. What works and what choices will the president make? Watch our special interview Monday.